So welcome to Module 3, Building Your Own Growth Hack. This is probably the most requested module. And because it's so confusing to a lot of people. But I just want to remind you, there's a method to the madness. There's actually a series of steps that you can look at and figure out how you're going to make your growth hack, right? And how you're going to build your growth hack. So the first thing you're going to do is think about the growth funnel, right? And let's go a little bit into what the growth funnel is. So think about your target audience. Before they can find you, they have all these hills and things that they have to jump over before they can find you. You're a spot on the horizon. They may not even know that that spot is there. They have so many things that they have to do to find you, right? And at every step, some people are going to get lost. They're going to go to your competitors. If you have competitors, they're going to go to do other things. They're going to rely on their old way of solving the problem. Like there's so many things that they can just wander off and do instead of using your product, right? So that's what's called the growth funnel. It's the stages that people will go through before they become a customer of your product, right? And there are a couple of stages, and we'll go through them one by one. So the first one is the acquisition stage. This is basically, how do customers find you? How do they get to your app? How do they get to your website? How do they find your Instagram, right? What are the different ways that people can find you? The next one is going to be the activation. And I call this the wow moment. Like, what is the point where people get excited about using your product? When do they figure out that this product is a solution to a pain that they had, to a problem that they had? The moment that you're going to go, wow, that they're going to go, wow, and like, oh, this is the most brilliant thing. So for a company like Netflix, it may be like the moment where they realize, oh my goodness, all my movies, I don't have to go anywhere. Or, oh, wow, I found a new movie that I really love and it was recommended to me. What is that moment in your app or website or in your process that your customers are going to be excited about? Then the next thing is what will keep them coming back, because it's not enough for them to have a wow moment. What is the thing that will make them keep coming back and using your app? So for example, in an Instagram, the wow moment may be like, oh, I posted a photo and I got 10 likes. I've never had that kind of reaction before. That's a wow moment. And then they keep coming back because they want to keep getting those likes, and they want to see other people's like, or they want to see, like, maybe they have a really close relationship with a celebrity. Maybe they're really in love with Tiwa Savage, and Tiwa Savage posts something and they feel this connection to Tiwa Savage, and they want to keep feeling that connection. So they start following her and they start like liking her posts, or go back deep into her feed to see everything she's ever done and feel that connection again. Those are the kind of things that keep people coming back, like, and using the same features over and over again. The next step is referral. What will make them share? This is super important. What about your product will make someone wake up, think about their problem, look at someone else who has the exact same problem, like, oh my goodness, you need to use this. It will change my life, right? Because regardless of what anyone tells you, word of mouth is still the most powerful way of growing. You want people to tell their friends and family, because that's how the viral effect occurs. The next one, the last one, is revenue. How will you make money? Now, some people, and we've discussed this before, like WhatsApp, they made money by selling their company eventually and not charging users. Facebook does it with ads. Uber does it with commission on trips. Paystack does it with a percentage fee for every transaction. Think about how you'll make money, and how you're going to lead people through all these steps to all the steps in the funnel. And remember, at every stage, you can lose up to 80% of people. You can lose 100% of people if your product isn't spec'd out right. But just remember, that's why it's a funnel, because if you start with 100, the next step, it could be 50. The next step could be 20. The next step could be 10. The next step could be 5. And at the end of when you get to the revenue stage, you may just have one person, right, that's giving you money, despite the fact that you brought 100 people to your website, right? So think of it as a funnel. Think of it as a bucket. And whenever you're thinking about how you're going to grow your company, you're going to look in the different stages and you're going to say, well, if my acquisition is great, like I launched the best ads and I'm getting thousands of or millions of people onto my website, but I'm not making any money, you have to look at each step and figure out what's broken. So this is called like a leaky bucket. There's no point pouring water into a bucket if at the revenue stage you're like you have a hole there and it's all just bleeding out, right? So let's talk a bit, now that we know what the growth funnel is, let's talk about growth hacking and how to hack this funnel. So growth hacking is a creative process of ensuring you get as many people as possible in each stage of the funnel. So remember the leaky bucket I was telling you? You want as many people going into the top of the bucket. But you also want to make sure that as many of those people are going to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage and the next, right? And here's the thing about growth hacking. Don't be afraid to be cheesy. It's what people remember. You really want people to remember you and have a reason to stick around. So if you have like a funny video on your, like you use an ad and it's a funny video and it makes everybody click on it because they just want to figure out who came up with this funny video, right? Then you optimize your acquisition stage. If you want to, let's say you're doing a fitness app and the very first workout, you have people clapping and going, whoa, you did it, well done, you know, or some kind of reward that make people feel good and that brings them to that wow moment faster. You really want to do that. So you really want to be very thoughtful about the steps that you put in and how you get people from place to place, right? And make sure that you're not losing people at each point, right? So let's do an example for a food delivery company, right? So for acquisition, how do people find you? What could be a way that people could find you, right? We can say, we're going to set up a stand at a local food festival and we're going to have our app and allow people to download that app and they can order food from anywhere in the food festival and we will deliver to this spot. Like maybe this food festivals tend to be hot and sweaty and you have a lot of walking around to do. But if you set up a little lounge and then they have their little phone and they can, you know, order food and they have the food delivered to them, like that, I would totally, my lazy butt will totally love that. So I'm not standing out in the sun and I can like chill with my friends, but still enjoy the food festival experience. Then for the food delivery app, like what's the aha moment? What could it be? So I order food a lot for my office sometimes because sometimes I don't have the opportunity to bring my lunch or I don't order something, so food comes. If I order food and it shows up in 15 minutes in Lagos and it's still hot when it gets there, it will blow my mind. Most of the time when food comes, I have to put it back in the microwave. It's stale. It's just not a great experience. So that would like, whoa, this is amazing. And I would want them to keep coming back. So what will keep me coming back? Even if there's a great 15-minute delivery time, if there's only one meal, I'm going to get bored. So what can we put in the app that will keep people coming back? If there's a lot of variety, a lot of selection, and it's really easy to use, perhaps a reward system where every 10 meals I order, I get maybe a free Coke or even a free meal if we're feeling pricey. If I can order for multiple people very, very easily and put in everybody's thing and charge everybody separate for like what they in particular ordered, that will keep me coming back because this will become embedded in my life and this is just the way I order meals. What will make me share? So I could earn free meals for sharing. Everybody likes food. If the food is getting arrives quickly, then if I'm in a room with like a bunch of coworkers and we want to order lunch, first thing I'm going to say is, hey, have you tried this food delivery app? Let me send let's all of you sign up and order your food separately so that I can get my free credit and get my meal free. And your app is now in the hands of 5 or 6 people. And that's one way to make them share. And in this case, how you'll make money is you can make commission on orders. So this is our growth funnel and this is what we've said. So we now want to focus on making sure that we don't lose people at every step. So we're at the food festival, we've gotten a lot of people to onboard, right? And then maybe 2 days later, we realize nobody's ordered food outside of the food festival. We could send them a push notification. We could send them an email with a coupon, which will bring them back to the app, right? Which is one way of keeping yourself from losing people. For the aha moment, consistency. It's always 15 minutes. Maybe you can have like some kind of guarantee to say, if it's not 15 minutes, it's free. Domino used to do this with 30. If they don't deliver your food in 30 minutes, it's free. And like this was in the States, so I don't know. Lagos is weird. Yeah, so variety, selection, ease of use. You just have to keep improving your network and making sure like people aren't looking for things that they can't find. So let's say I really like Indian food and your food doesn't have anything with Indian food. The day that I want Indian food, I'm going to put your app down and go to your competitor, right? So that's one way to plug it up. And then this is a good place to also solicit feedback from your customers saying, hey, what would you like to see in our app? And that keeps them engaged. That keeps them coming back, right? Referral. If you find that the referral you're offering isn't working, switch it up. Some people, like there are studies that have been done that say money off is more valuable to people than percentage off. So let's say you have something that's 10,000 naira and you say, you know what, we're going to give you 10% off versus I'm going to give you a 1,000 naira coupon. The 1,000 naira coupon is a lot more effective, even though it's the same amount at the end of the day. And 10% can actually even be more if they decide to order more than 10,000 naira, right? So try to use different techniques, research, use different things, research what works, and then figure out what works for your particular base. And then at the how you'll make money is easy to tweak, right? You can tweak your sharing formula to make sure that you're profitable. That really belongs in the financial model part of the conversation, which we've already done. So that's the end of Module 3. We've talked about building your growth hack. So basically, as a summary, figure out the steps in your growth funnel. Figure out how you're going to hack each step to get as many people in each step as you possibly can. And then keep tweaking over time to make it better and better. Okay? Thank you. That's the end of Module 3. Looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson.